Hello, and we are back again with the Audacity tutorials. So this is going to be a little bit of a step up from the original one, which was for beginners for voice actors. So this is if you want to get into the more nitty gritty and the details, and you really want to sell yourself and sound good as a voice actor, and you want to take it more professionally, or you just really want to ascend to the next level. First thing I do want to talk about is, if you can see here, I have a pop filter. Now, PPP, so pop filter essentially just tries to remove those harsh sounds of the P. The P, every time you make a sound beginning with a P, it can be really distracting and irritating listening to someone, especially in an audiobook or any sort of character work, anything like that. It's just one of those things you've got to be really careful for. So a pop filter will get rid of that, and honestly, every voice actor needs one. I even recommend it for beginners because it will just help you, and you won't have to worry about trying to edit out the P sounds, fade it in, fade it out. Honestly, that's what I used to do. So you can get these fairly cheap on Amazon or in your hardware stores, anything like that should be a low price. You can get fancy ones and stuff like that, but honestly these just work as good for professional work if you know how to use them properly. Usually they say in the UK, pinky and thumb away, so about this distance where I am now from your pop filter. Pottery, so you can hear the P sound, so you have to be careful not to go over the top with it, and if you are shouting, you do have to have a little bit of distance with it. Alright, so now we're going to talk about headphones. So you will need closed back headphones, and usually that just means, like, this one is a Sennheiser make, and they have an audio jack that plugs right into my audio interface, so we don't have something called audio bleeding. And bleeding is where it leaks out into your audio and you can hear noises that interfere from the headphones. Honestly, it's just one big disaster when your equipment starts affecting your interface and your microphone. It is just worth investing a little bit of money into a proper closed back headphones so they don't leak anything and there's no reverb or anything like that in your audio. You want it to be crystal clear, and you work hard enough anyway, and you've probably spent enough money now to try and get it to this level. You want to focus on your voice acting. You don't want to have to constantly worry about additional editing and things like that, because obviously we are voice actors. That's what we specialize in. We shouldn't be expected to know the ins and outs of audio, but nowadays we are, so that's why I made this video. And people need to know this sort of thing, because today a lot of clients expect you to have some knowledge of audio interfaces, and they call them DAWs. If you're wondering what a DAW is, by the way, it stands for Digital Audio Workstation. As you can see here, it's from music making processors, recording digital audio and melodies. A lot of DJs use it and that sort of thing. And it can be for honestly anything. You want to prepare your recording room. So for me, where I am now, it's not particularly the best setup. I used to have a better setup. I used to be in an enclosed space with foam on the walls and blankets around me, and mostly over the top and around. But I still try my best to reduce it, and I have my windows closed, so I recommend you close all the doors, all the windows, any sort of vents, things like that where audio can come through, because it's going to pick it up. Your microphone's definitely going to pick it up. If you can hear echoes in your claps, it means you've got a lot of reverb in the room. Now, there is quite a little bit of reverb above me, but it is not too bad on this side of the room. So have a little bit of experimentation if you've got some space in your recording studio or your bedroom, wherever you're recording. Most people do it in a closet. We don't really have those in the UK. Some people just do their wardrobes out and in. They just kind of makeshift their DIY sort of thing. That's what I will be doing in the future. So not a bad idea. Your PC and laptop could make a lot of noise, so be wary of that. And if you've got any fans on in the background, anything like that, I know how frustrating it can be recording in a hot room, But if you can just turn it off while you audition, please do, because you don't want to have to edit that out. It will really affect your audio. So you're going to want to practice good habits. So you're going to want to label your files clearly. You're going to have a specific one that you might need to name it depending on what the client wants, or if it's just for like a fan project, you could give it a name, kind of like how I've done on my Audacity files. You'll see I've got cute robot _ my name, or I've got Zenyuko _ my name audition. It just depends what you're recording for. And always keep backups of your recordings and your editing files. Please do this, because especially if it's a big file and you don't want to lose it, get that on a USB or a hard drive or another laptop or computer or whatever. Another good habit that people don't talk about is warming up your voice. It doesn't mean you have to be singing Figaro, things like that. La 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 la. No, you don't always need to do that. It can be simple things from just playing with your voice, experimenting with characters, or it can just be what we learned in our voice acting classes, like lip trills and even just humming, things like that. So so silly things like that can really help you moving forward, especially if you have to do any gravelly characters or high pitch that kind of grate on your throat for a few hours. Just little things like that before your session can help you so much in the long run. And going back to what I was saying earlier with your microphone, so you want to treat your room as best as possible with what you can. So you can buy specific filters that go around the microphone, or foam boxes that can help. That can do a lot. I used to have a big foam head, but it used to get in the way. That helped so much with reverb. Mic placement, different arranging in different areas, see where your microphone sounds best, that can help. And we're going to learn more about compression and EQ in Audacity for our advanced steps. That can really help you moving forward on getting the best out of your audio, and you're going to have consistency and clarity in your recordings, and that is what clients want. It is the gold star for all voice actors. So I think that pretty much sums up some sort of the more intermediate type things you want to look out for. By the way, do check my description. I have some PDF files that you can use and have a look at if you've forgotten the step-by-step things, and just things you might want to take note of moving forward. So I hope you use that and that it does help you. And I hope you enjoyed the part 2 of this, and now that you're improving on your journey of getting better as a voice actor and learning more of the audio side of things. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.